In this EyeCOR video presentation, we will discuss the ophthalmic reference. I'm going to select it from the main menu. The ophthalmic reference is a series or a library of different tools that we've put together for our users. In some cases, they've been requested by the users. In other cases, they are coding or compliance issues that we realize are very important to have in the practice to make sure that you're coding, posting, and making sure your documentation is compliant. Over on the refraction, it's particularly on contact lenses, where we have the FDA group definitions for the water content of all the different lenses, diopter to millimeter conversion, the vertex distance calculator, here where I can click a +10 spectacle sphere, and then it shows all the related contact lens spheres. On the ophthalmic exam, treatment, etc., IOP corrections for corneal thickness for pachymetry. We also have abbreviations. There's an ortho-K module about when you have certain undesirable results, what you can do to correct them. Vision impairment definitions for blindness. Driving visions requirement by state. So you can select the state that you're in, and we're going to give you all the requirements for the driving vision requirements. This column has all the requirements for an E&M exam, the 99-200 exams from level 1 to 5. It's essentially the same thing as which in the exam module for E&M exam, but here is a reference. We have all the requirements spelled out. The column on the right has information required for exams, for billing, restrictions, requirements, etc. So, for example, place of service. If you're not performing the examination at your office, we show all the different places of service. Procedure code modifiers. Here we show all the modifiers that are applicable for optometry and ophthalmology. I can click on whichever one I want, and then you have an explanation, usage, and any notes about that particular modifier. Glaucoma severity definitions. A couple of years ago, new diagnosis codes were added, particularly for primary open-angle glaucoma and some of the other glaucoma diagnoses, and they are based on severity level. Here is the actual CMS definition for severity, where it's mild, moderate, advanced, or severe, whichever term you want, and with the specific information about where that patient lies so that you know exactly which type level of severity is here. Medicare coding regulations. One of the things we see very frequently at different presentations and with different articles is information about co-payments and deductibles, where sometimes we hear that you do not have to collect co-payments, you do not have to collect deductibles. You are absolutely required to do that. So we actually have the CMS or Office of Inspector General regulations about that. Same thing about discounts. You are allowed to discount for day of service, cash pay patients. However, there are very strict, specific requirements on that. It's not arbitrary at all. And there are other informational things that are actually regulations for Medicare. The next one is glaucoma suspect risk calculator. There's always been a glaucoma suspect, which is 36501. Recently, there was a new diagnosis code, 36505, that was added as high risk, and the original 36501 was designated at low risk. Obviously, it is not based on severity because it's glaucoma suspect, but it is based on age, ethnicity, family history, etc. So if, for example, I have a patient that is over 75, Hispanic, and even if there's no family history of glaucoma, I can do the calculation within EyeCOR, and using the point scale that's assigned by CMS, that really should be coded as a high risk using 36505. Before I get into the next category, I want to talk about one of the major benefits of EyeCOR, and that's coding assistance. That's where the doctor or the staff can contact EyeCOR. We have a staff of coding experts here ready to answer your coding question. If the doctor has a coding question, they can call us. It will be answered. If the billing people receive an EOB back with the denial they don't understand, they can call us, and coding staff will look through the EOB and the claim, determine why it was denied, educate the staff on the denial reason so it doesn't happen again, and more importantly, depending on the denial, be able to tell you how to refile or resubmit that claim. The reason why I'm talking about it now is because the most frequently asked question is how to do a post-op exam and how to code it properly. What we've done is we actually have a sample post-op exam, and in this case you can see it is for New York. It is again region specific, but what we've done is we've taken all the information that is required for the post-op exam properly coded. Notice it is on the right 1500, and then in black have all the information that's required, and in yellow highlight with the red we explain each of the fields. So that's a very useful tool. It's something that our users refer to frequently so that they can make sure that their post-op claims are being submitted properly. One of the other things is recently there have been reductions in reimbursement for certain procedures. One is MPPR, where all procedures performed after the first one on one day will have a reduction in reimbursement. Another one is OPPS, and we explain all of those. So that's a brief description of the ophthalmic reference, a nice, friendly, easy to use set of tools. If there's any other information you feel is necessary, please don't hesitate to contact us. We'll have it added to this library. As I said, many of the things in here are requests from our users. That concludes this presentation. For more information about EyeCOR, I would suggest you call us toll-free at 888-866-5367 or email us at info@eyecor.com. And thank you for your attention.